morning, one and all. Thank you for taking time out on a Saturday morning and joining this session today morning. In the next few minutes, what we are going to see how the world is changing and what kind of opportunities it's bringing for all of us. At the same time, what kind of risk and challenges, especially from a cyber perspective, right? It is going to impact, and how do we really need to careful? What kind of additional opportunities it is going to bring in, right? So, as you heard about me from Sir and my background, I currently work with an international company, but whatever I'm going to show here is completely based on my research, knowledge, and experience. So it's all available publicly in the internet. Okay. So, yeah, this is me. Just to say some bandwidth for all of you, I'm not coming to the video. I love sharing my knowledge with all futuristic leaders like you. So today we are going to specifically talk about how cybersecurity is going to be very, very important, relevant, the challenges and opportunities for all of us, right? In this session, we are going to see about mostly 5 areas why cybersecurity is important from a global perspective, why cybersecurity is important to each one of us. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing, what we will see is actually what kind of threats and risk, cyber threats, cyber attacks in a connected world. Right. When I say connected world, we already started living in a connected world. We are connected to our smartphone, to smart TV, to smart fridge. What kind of risks are there? Then we will see the nature of the crimes in the future, right? How that is going to change from the traditional crimes. We are going to see that with a lot of examples. The fourth one, what kind of preparation we should be making to protect ourselves from these kind of cyber attacks. And the fifth one is what kind of career opportunities out there for each one of you and for all of us from a career perspective to defend against these kind of cyber threats in the larger corporates and other possibilities. Okay, so this is what we are going to cover. So I'll not be teaching you any technical aspects of cybersecurity in terms of the firewalls and the malware re-engineering or hacking. No, I'll not be teaching you any of these things today, but I'll give you an idea about what kind of threats are there, what kind of risks are there, what kind of attacks are there, and how do we really need to prepare ourselves, and not only just protecting from these kind of attacks and risk, but also from from a career and job opportunity perspective. Okay, yeah, let's start. Now I just want to set a small context. Earlier we knew what kind of threats and risks were there, what kind of crimes are there. So obviously we know what kind of defense to be put in place. Simple example. We know that there can be theft at home, right? If you don't have a proper lock, if you don't have a proper door, right? If you don't have all areas locked, right, in our house, definitely if you have valuables in our house, these things can be stolen, right, by thieves. So we know what kind of crime, burglary is a crime, and we know we need to have proper locks, we need to have proper doors and windows, we need to have proper surveillance and so on. If there is a crime happening, again, we know what to proceed, right? Okay, if there is a burglary happening, if there is somebody is coming, a thief is coming to your house and taking all your things out, then you know what to do, right? You can go to the police station and make a complaint, and then they'll come an investigation, and finally the thief is get caught, and then the court procedure and the punishment. So the threats, the defense, and the procedures. But slowly we know there are so many threats. For many of the threats, we don't know how to even defend against it. Now Example, right? So just look at the coronavirus. When the COVID-19, right? This coronavirus, when it came, we know there are viruses, but we didn't know how to really protect against it. We don't know how to really protect against it. So it took a lot of time for us to really find the protection, the defense against it. We didn't even have a medicine, right? So you will see a lot of crimes coming, and then you don't even know what kind of attacks to be done. Defense should be in place. Similarly, the days which we are living today, there are so many unknown attacks. We don't even know whether we are attacked or not, whether we are breached or not, whether somebody is making a crime against us or not. We don't even know, and we don't even know what kind of defense to be put in place. Example, earlier, somebody to come and look at everything what happens inside your house or near to your house. People have to come and stand near to your house or get inside house, etc. But today, they can monitor all things what happens inside your house just by sending a drone, right? And the drone can be as small as like a fly. It can get inside your bedroom or bathroom or even or somebody can even hack your mobile phone camera and watch everything from a remote place. You don't even know what kind of threats it is there, and we don't even know how to really defend against it, right? You might have seen in the news recently some Pegasus spyware and so many things, right? So the threats are getting or becoming more unknown, and we don't know what kind of defense to be put in place. So that's the world we are living in. Earlier, we all knew what kind of threats are there, risks are there. We knew or we know what kind of defense to be putting in place. Slowly, we know the threats, but we don't know how to defend it. But today we are living in a world, we don't even know about the various risks and threats out there, and we don't even know what kind of defense to be put in place. And this is where cyber security is extremely getting important, right? So cyber security is something that is going to be very relevant to everyone. But the question we will be asking, yeah, cyber security is a technical thing. Why I should be caring about that? Why do I'm not a technology person. I may be studying for BCom. I just passed my 12th grade. I am a housewife. I am a retired person. I don't have anything to do with the cybersecurity. That may be the thinking for most of us having in our mind right now. But I'm going to share a few examples why we should all think about cybersecurity with a lot of importance, right? At each of our individual level, whether we are a technical person or non-technical person, we should be. Okay. So imagine when you are waking up on a fine Monday morning, before you are getting into the school or before you are getting ready, the first thing what you do is check your mobile phone, right? Most of you, right? Or you may get into your laptop. But when you're turning on your mobile or laptop, if you see an image like this, and then the message on the image is that you are hacked, and whatever you're trying to do with your mobile is not going to be working. Like, you are not able to make a call, you're not able to access your WhatsApp, you are not able to access your image gallery, you are not able to read your SMS, you are not able to access anything in your mobile phone. What will be your reaction? Same thing if it happens with a laptop. All your project details, your photographs, movies, your games, all your bills, receipts, your certificates, mark sheets, everything is in a laptop. Imagine when that is getting hacked, what kind of reaction you'd be having, right? So this is what exactly happened a few years back to Sony Corporation. Sony, right? Sony TV. There are so many Sony Pictures, Sony Entertainment Corporation, right? So what happened to Sony Entertainment Group is nothing but a cyber attack which logged all of their computers, laptops, servers, systems, everything, right? So none of their employees or none of the Sony Corporation staff or employees, right? They were not able to log into their system because somebody hacked or breached their system. Now, or their data, these hackers, the cyber criminals, they hacked and then they stole all their data, including movie scripts, payroll, pay slips, sensitive information, movie scripts, movies even without, even which is not released. So all these things got breached. Now it was a big breach for the Sony Corporation. They were not able to move even one step with their business. They involved a lot of legal agencies like CIA, FBI. They loop in the US government to recover from this breach, but nobody could help. The cyber criminals, they were asking certain things to be done by the Sony Corporation, without which this criminal groups will not release these computers to Sony Corporation. Okay. Finally, Sony had to agree to whatever the demands set by the hackers for giving a code which can be which can be used to recover all their systems. This was a very big breach. This was one of the largest global cybersecurity breach, which completely stopped the operation of Sony Corporation. And what happened actually later, the Sony Corporation's share value gone down. The CEO had to resign. They lost a lot of data. They lost a lot of revenue, right? That is what happened to a company like Sony Corporation because of a cyber attack. Now, yes, now you understand why cyber attacks are going to be risky, challenging, and devastating. And this is the screenshot what they saw, when they log into the system, that yeah, Mr. Sony or Sony Corporation, you are hacked. We are the guardians of peace. If you need to recover your computers, you need to obey whatever we are telling before this particular time, 24th of November, 11 p.m. GMT. Okay, so that's an example of a breach, right? If you look at globally, yeah, we are, by every minute passes by, there are about 3,000 targeted attacks are happening across the globe every minute. Sony Corporation, yeah, so every minute there are about 3,000 targeted attacks happening across the globe. One of them you have seen the Sony Corporation. There are successful attacks, there are unsuccessful attacks. But the thing is that every minute, 3,000 globally. And you may be attacked, I may be attacked, our company can be attacked, our home can be attacked, our government can be attacked, our corporations can be attacked, our hospitals can be attacked. It all takes one or two attacks to launch a company down, right? In the past, many companies similarly got attacked. For example, Marriott is a big global hotel hospitality company, got breached. Uber is a company, right, which provides commutation, right? Digital communication company. Microsoft is a big technology company. eBay is a big e-commerce company globally. So these are all companies got breached or attacked, was attacked by various. These companies got breached, and these hackers took millions, crores of their users, their customers' data, like their personal data, the credit card number, your phone number, email numbers, email IDs, the PIN card numbers, when you travel, where you travel, what kind of credit card that you're using, all the data has been stolen. Okay, so yeah, so Target is a retail company, so even they got breached. Equifax is a credit services company, got breached. LinkedIn is a social networking company. Adele Friend Finder is a pornographic company. Even everybody got attacked, everybody got breached. and all their millions of customers' data has been stolen. Okay, so these are all examples where bigger global companies got attacked and breached. Now, even not only corporate and private companies, even governments are getting attacked. I'm going to show you a few examples. The today World Economic Forum declared that cybersecurity risk and attacks are considered among the top 5 risks to global stability. One of the top 5 risks, right? So then you understand why it is important, right? So for the US government, if you look at, there are various threats and risk. Now, if any of you closely follows the US things, terrorism is a big thing they are fighting on. The China is a big threat and risk to them. Climate change is a big threat and risk to them. North Korea is there's a big tension between North Korea and the US. But if you look at the largest threat to the US government is nothing but cyber warfare. You can see here 45%, which is nothing but a cyber threat and risk. Okay, so that is how the world is looking at cyber security as a major area of interest. The cyber risk is bigger than cyber terrorism. Okay, so the other terrorism and even other nation state risk. I just want to play a very small video just to show you how the cyber threats can even attack governments and what kind of damage it can bring to you, right? Bring to all of us. Now, what you're seeing from this video is that many examples were in the past how cyber security or cyber attacks, I would call it cyber attacks, really created a major problem across the world. There were many companies and countries got attacked. For example, you're seen from the video in the US and in the Ukraine, the electricity grid was attacked and the power was shut down. Now imagine in your place, if the power is not there, if the electricity is not there for 3 days continuously, what can happen, right? Your mobile phones will not be able to charge. Telephone towers cannot be, battery will be dry down so that nobody can communicate to each other through their phones. Simple. Hospitals will not be able to function. When I say hospitals will not be able to function, if there is no electricity, how your surgery rooms, ICUs will function? People can die, right? Lift in a big building will not be able to get operated. Traffic signals will not be able to function. Flights, the air traffic control systems can go down so that the flights will not be able to land. So much of damage it can happen to the world when cybersecurity is getting compromised, right? So that is why it is important, even for a nation, right? Your traffic can be disturbed, your healthcare systems can go down, your communication towers can go down. So we'll be completely in the blackout, right? If it happens in a country like Ukraine or US or even a European country, what can happen? They're all countries where during the winter season the temperature can go down even minus degrees, right? So without the heater, do you think that people can survive? Because everything will be ice there, right? So complete solid ice cubes, and you cannot do anything without heater, right? So cars cannot be started. Water cannot be boiled. Room temperature cannot be brought down. So you will see that those kind of countries, if their electricity grid is or power grids are attacked, then what kind of people damage it can bring, and people in various places will die because of this ice. They'll be frozen to death, right? So that is what kind of damage it can bring because of a cyber attack. Now there are varied or variety type of cyber attacks. Sweden is a big country, so Sweden lost all of its data because of a breach. Their national security data, their military data, the crime data, the healthcare data, the passport, the license details. There were attacks. A government losing all this data is causing a big national security problem, right? So there are attackers who will be launching attacks to steal the data as well. Now there are different type of attackers. They may not be just stealing the data, right? They will be doing very harmful things. Because recently in the US there is an attempt happened, that one hacker attacked the water supply system in Florida city and tried to poison the water supply remotely using a cyber attack. Imagine if there are 20 lakh people in that city who are all drinking from this water supply. They'll all die, right, because of the poison. So today people are trying to do differentiated cyber attacks which we cannot even imagine, right? One person in the US got arrested actually because that guy was planning to really put a bomb to a school with the help of a drone, right? So because today drones can be used for doing a lot of good things. In a pandemic you can supply medicine, during a flood you can supply food, deliver food, many things. And in a natural calamity you can use it for aerial surveillance. You can do a lot of things with the drones, and especially it is connected, you can remotely control it, you can do a lot of things with this. But the same drones, if it is getting hacked, then a lot of bad things can be done using your drone. A cyber criminal can do a lot of bad things as well. Okay, so the cyber criminal can hijack your baby, or kidnap your baby, or they can smuggle weapons and drugs using drones, etc., etc., right? So connected drones. So I just want to play a very small example how drones can be hijacked.
This right here is how I walk my dog. I get my favorite beer, I get my quadcopter, and I just sit back and relax. Enjoy the show. Hey, looking good, Biscuit. All right, let's get some exercise. Pick up the pace. Yeah, Biscuit. What the hell? Crap. What the? Oh. No, 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 no. Oh. Oh my lord. Biscuit! Biscuit! Biscuit!
See, your own drones can be hijacked. Okay, not necessarily drones alone. It can be a flight. It can be a F-16 UAV, unmanned aerial vehicle, right, which is carrying a nuclear power load, right? So everything can be hacked today because it's all are connected to internet, and anybody can potentially log into these kind of systems, and then hack this, and then launch attack against or using with your own devices, right? uh, One man already in the US accused for hitting the Pentagon and the Capitol with a drone aircraft, right? So FBI arrested them. So there are so many people with so many different types of motives. In India, about a few months back, I mean, nearly a year back, last year, October 12th, there is a huge power cut happened, and then a lot of news is actually, this is one of the news cuttings. This was suspected to, like, the entire power cut in Mumbai was because of because of a cyber attack. That's what the news agencies reported, right? Potentially there could be a power attack, I mean, a cyber attack. So this is globally happening. We are not exempted from any of such potential attacks, whether it is in the US or Belgium or Ukraine or China or Russia or even India or in our own homes. We are going to see that, right? So that is where you see any such attacks can create a huge legal problems. Production can be stopped. Company share value can go down. Their reputation and brand image can go down if it's a private company. People's lives can be at risk, and huge financial loss for companies. So these are all some of the damages because of a cyber attack, right? So earlier, if you see, these kind of attacks were mostly data breaches. Like, that means companies will lose their data, and then obviously this attackers will steal their data and then they sell it outside, right? Now slowly the nature of these attacks slowly is transforming to disruption. The disruption of their services, their production, and things like that. Today, that is now taking a shape of destruction. The attacks are completely destructing the whole operation of a company, the factories of a company, the logistics of a company, the nuclear stations of a company, the dams of the company, right? So it's completely getting destructed, right? I'll be showing you some more examples for all these things in the coming minutes. So the thing that we need to note down here, the future crimes would be either a cyber crime or a cyber led crime or cyber powered or cyber enabled crimes. Okay, so that's what the future crimes is going to be, right? Whether it is against a company, against a government, against an individual, a lot of crimes are going to be committed either with the help of cyber or just a direct cyber crime. So it's not about, okay, I am safe, I don't, nobody is going to attack me. If I am going to be attacked, let me see at that point of time. So that is what most of the people are thinking. But that's not the case. It's all about when I am going to be attacked. I'm going to be attacked for sure. Somebody is already continuously attacking me, but I need to see when I'm going to be attacked and how do I really respond to that, right? So that's how the world is moving. Interestingly, it takes about more than 200 days somebody to identify that whether they are breached or not. More than 6 months. It's like a 7 month. Somebody will attack you 7 months back. We'll realize that only after 7 months what kind of problem it is. Just like the coronavirus, right? It comes inside our body, and then we will know whether we are carrying that virus only after 7 or 8 days, because then only the symptoms will come, right? Similarly, attacks also happening in a very similar way. Some of the viruses and the malwares and the cyber exploits can come inside your organization or in your mobile or even any of your smart TV, and it can sit there and watch. It can do the damage, right? And even we will come to know only after 206 days. And that is exactly you have seen in the recent news. Pegasus spyware, which was tapping the phones of global people, global leaders and media and many activists. Their phones were tapped. Spyware was inside their phone. Nobody knew. Somebody attacked and breached their phones, right? It takes nearly a year to fix that breach. It is not easy. If you're getting cyber attacked, if you're getting breached, it is not easy to get recovered. It will take nearly a year to get fix those issues. Okay, so that is where it getting more complex. There are different types of motivations for these guys, the bad guys. Some people will attack you not to steal your data, not to disrupt your any of your situations, nothing. They will simply come inside and just spy you. They will just observe you and take the data and give it to somebody else who might be interested in the data. That is where Pegasus, the spyware, espionage. Okay, some people launch cyber attack not to do anything, but just to prove their value point. Okay, um, uh, environmentalist activist or human rights activist. There are so many hacktivists. They're called hacktivists. They will launch hacking. They will hack systems to prove their points. Okay, some people will be launching attacks just to prove their ideology or bring their ideology to the world. Okay, some people launch attack just to get more money. Okay, they will steal the data and sell the data and so on. Nation state is something like a country will sponsor a cyber attack against other country or another country with the help of the cyber criminals. That is called nation state. Some people will launch the attack to kill their competition. So there are various motivations. So the people are going to attack, launch the cyber attacks for various of their objectives, okay, or their mission or their requirements. Now, there are cyber criminal groups, organized criminal syndicates, individual cyber criminals, nation state sponsored groups, hacktivists are there. Even people inside their own organization can be also cyber criminal. Okay, we call them as insider threats. Okay, and there are targeted cyber attack. That means a cyber criminal group ABC can come and say that, okay, we will this year we will attack 3 companies in the oil and gas industry. Or they can say this year we will target 5 telecom companies, right? Like that, they will do an organized threat campaign. Okay, now these kind of threats are going to be only increasing and increasing because there is a new thing called artificial intelligence is coming into the picture, which is making every device a smart device, and we are going to live in an intelligently connected smart devices world, which will make many things automated for us, right? The connected smart living systems. The problem is actually the more we are using this connected smart systems, the more possibility of the attacks. Okay, because it's a double-edged sword. I'll show you how and why. IDC is a big research company. They predicted that there are going to be 50 billion, about 5,000 crore connected devices are going to be there in another 3 to 4 years. Okay, 50 billion connected devices. Now, the thing is that these 50 billion, that means about 5,000 crore potential devices are potentially a door for cyber criminals to get inside the network. Okay, when I say the network, it can, don't think that it is in a computer network alone. It can be a network with your fridge and Wi-Fi or your smart TV or your car and so on, right? So the cars are getting very smart. You're seeing there are so many advertisements coming in the TV right nowadays that the cars are completely internet connected. It can automatically open the doors for you. It can automatically turn the lights on. It can automatically set the temperature inside, the AC temperature inside your car. A lot of things it can do by itself because it is connected. It is internet enabled. It is very smart. Now, these cars itself can be hijacked, and there are so many examples already available there, where imagine when you wanted to apply brake, somebody can remotely increase the accelerator, especially when it is coming to signal. What can happen? Somebody can lock you inside the car where that cyber criminal may be sitting in Russia or North Korea or Ukraine or somewhere, but we'll be driving a smart car in Cochin or Bangalore or Mumbai, but our car can be locked and we can be inside. And this guy can remotely increase the music sound as well as increase the temperature inside the car. What can happen? Instead of taking a left, somebody can control the car to take a right turn or a U-turn, or it can, so all of a sudden when you are driving the car on the highway 150 kilometers speed, immediately when somebody applies a sudden brake to your car remotely, what can happen to your car, right? So many dangers can happen. So I'm just giving you some examples, possible examples where these kind of cars can be hijacked. The Tesla, I am sure all of you know about Tesla, right? The Tesla Model X was breached or attacked, breached in a research lab in 90 seconds. That means the Tesla car can be breached in 90 seconds because of some vulnerabilities was inside the car. I just want to play a very small video just to show you that attack breach. Okay. what you have seen in this video is nothing but a family came and parked the car and to their courtyard, and then a cyber criminal is coming to near to the car. Obviously here he's a researcher, and then is able to really break into the car, was able to open the doors of the car, getting inside the car, and then driving away the car, right? It's a Tesla Model X. It cost you crores of rupees, completely smart and connected. You see what the risk it can carry along with you, right? So it's a very, very scary, at the same time interesting, right? You will see these kind of intelligent systems are not only on the cars, but also on the roads. China is developing a smart road where there is artificial intelligence on the road. Connected devices are already implanted on the road, which can talk to these smart cars. Now imagine a cyber criminal is able to attack these smart roads. Automated signals can be taken control by these cyber criminals, right? So a lot of bad things can happen. Now when it is coming to our own home, right, our own home is getting smart. Like the TV that we use is getting smart TV, the fridge is smart fridge, the lights are smart lights, the fans are smart. You can control your fans speed from your mobile, right? So it's very smart. So the coffee machines are getting smart. Now imagine each one of these things can be hacked, and people can lock you inside your house from remote places. Okay, I just want to play another simple, interesting video just to show you how the future smart homes can look like and what kind of potential damages.
Play jazz.
Playing jazz.
Smoothie.
Making smoothie.
Calendar.
No meetings today. Remember, tandläkare at 9:30.
Fire off.
Fire off.
Open door.
Door open.
Sånn. Så skal vi sette en til.
Ja. Open door.
Wrong voice command.
Open door.
Wrong voice command.
Open. Open door.
Repeat that.
Open door.
I didn't understand that.
Hey, open door.
Play on the floor.
Get over the door. Open the door.
Wrong
Open the
voice
door.
command. Error.
Hey, there. With a rock. Open door. Open door. Open door. Open door. Higher.
Higher volume.
Higher.
Higher.
Though this is a funny video, you have seen that how this guy was using the smart home, right? Turning the fire on or off, making the juice, turning on the door, and so on. Completely verbally, right? Imagine if a cyber criminal is able to hack your home. He can completely lock you inside your home, your own home, right? When it is very hot, somebody can turn on your fire, so that will increase the temperature inside your room, right? It can cause fire, right? Or when it is very, very winter and cold, somebody can turn off your fire system so that you will be frozen to death, right? So these are all damages, potential damages out there, right? So every smart device that we are using can be used against us if it is not properly used, whether it's a TV, fridge, or camera. There is an example of HomeBot, which is a smart vacuum cleaner by LG. Researchers discovered there is a vulnerability in that smart vacuum cleaner, which can be exploited by the cyber criminals, where the smart vacuum cleaner can be controlled by a cyber criminal somewhere in the past. Imagine the smart vacuum cleaner is inside your bedroom, and somebody will be able to take your photographs and videos and without your permission, and can capture all your conversations, send it to somebody outside your room. And they don't have to come inside your room to see what you do, right? They just need to hack this smart home device, which is HomeBot, the vacuum cleaner, right? In Kerala, there was a case which happened a couple of years back, that one lady's naked pictures were all around in the WhatsApp, Instagram, and all, right? And they given a police complaint. When the police did the investigation, they found out that her naked pictures was taken by or were taken by the smart TV, which was kept in her bedroom, right? When they did the investigation more, they found out that a hacker was able to hijack or hack or attack her smart TV, and using the smart TV, even when the TV was turned off, the hacker was able to take the photograph of this lady whenever she was changing the dress, right? So the cyber attacks are even coming to our own bedrooms, right? Not only the large corporates or governments, what we saw in the very first slides, right? So that is where the world is we are living in. There is a case in US, the Ring Central CCTV camera was hacked in a house where the hacker was able to communicate to the small kids in that house and asking them to do very, very bad things when their parents were not there in that bed in their house, right? There are so many examples where this can even come inside to our personal lives, right? So this kind of acts. um, about is a pacemaker company. So they make smart pacemakers, which is going inside our body to help our heart to pump, right? So now the researchers identified that, and especially the government agency FDA released an update that about 460,000 pacemakers had a security vulnerability or a bug inside that pacemaker, which can be potentially exploited by a cyber criminal. Then what can happen? If a cyber criminal is able to get access to that pacemaker, the cyber criminal will be able to kill 465,000 people with a click of a button, right? So that's how, and that's where the danger is, right? If that vulnerability or weakness in a pacemaker is not fixed, then if it is landing in the hands of cyber criminal, they can kill lakhs of people with a click of some button. They don't have to come anywhere. They can sit somewhere in the remote part of some country and they'll be able to kill lakhs of people. Right? So today even sex toys are getting hacked. There are already news that somebody got really hacked, and then that guy was not able to even unlock the toy, right? So every device, doesn't matter whether it is a pacemaker or a sex toy or your TV, or it could be anything which can be connected and smart, can be hacked, right? So there are various examples of different types of hacks. Some people don't just attack you with this kind of technology. Some people can take your identity, your own information, your photograph, your name, your phone number, your email ID, and they will create a fake profile of you, fake identity of yourself, and launch attacks or commit crimes, right? That's called identity fraud, identity theft, identity risk, right? So there are so many stories when the past people stolen this names, addresses, phone numbers, and things like that, and then they created fake profiles to do crimes. Or some people can create Facebook or Instagram fake profiles and do a lot of crimes. Okay, so there are so many examples. Some people can even come and act like they are policemen, or they are employees, or they are candidates, or or they are even the supply chain people, courier boys, or the facility management guys, electrician. They can take different identities. These criminals can take different identities and can launch attacks, right? So that is called identity theft, identity fraud, right? Identity risk. Now some people will launch attacks using, they'll not come to you directly, but they will attack you through your phones, emails and SMSs, etc., right? So they will send you very, very promising emails. Maybe they may be saying that you got a good job, you have an offer letter, you are selected for this opportunity, click on the offer letter and accept this offer letter immediately. And if you don't read it properly, and if it is not genuine, you can be hacked by clicking that email, right, or that attachment. You may get SMS through various companies saying that you won 2,000 rupees jackpot lottery, you won, right? You click on this link to claim your amount, right? So your ATM card is blocked. You need to immediately click on this link to reactivate it. So the moment you are clicking on many of such links and SMSs and emails, you'll be hacked, right? You'll be attacked. So there are so many different types of attacks, right? So we call as phishing, and smishing. So some people can attack your computers and mobiles and place evidences against you inside your devices, and where somebody else will do the crime, but eventually you will go behind the bars and the jails, right? So there are so many different types of attacks are going to happen, right? And today, with the help of artificial intelligence, the attacks nature is going to be very, very difficult and different than the previous, because today the cyber criminals are going to use AI also into their attacks, right? So I just want to take a small poll here. I'm sure all of you will be having the chat option. I would request all of you to put it in the chat window. You are seeing two photographs, one male photograph, the other one female photograph. Can you tell which one is the real photograph of a person, male or female? Male is real, female is real, both are not real, both are real, both are. Yeah, thank you. I think thank you for your wonderful response. Yeah, I'm getting a mixed response. I am sure some of you might have seen this earlier. Yes, in fact, both the pictures are created by artificial intelligence, not the photograph of real people, right? So you see how AI can create real very, very realistic photographs and images, right? So with these kind of photographs and pictures, today people can commit crimes, right? And they can change the shape of a person to a different person, right? So it is going to be very difficult for us to even trust whom we are engaging on our internet. When you are getting a friend request in your Instagram or Twitter or Facebook and so on, you don't even know whether there's a person really living like that or not, right? So we may get a fake friend request who maybe appear to be our own friend and relatives, but eventually that may be a fake profile created by some cyber criminal just to probably steal our data or commit a crime against us and so on, right? I don't know if you've seen this video. There is a video in the internet. In the interest of time, I'm not playing this video. So there are multiple videos actually. Somebody created a fake video of Obama, which is very difficult to understand initially that this is not the video of Obama, right? The real video of Obama. Somebody created a fake video. It's very difficult to even believe that Obama saying like certain things, right? So it is not told by Obama, but by a cyber criminal using the deep fake. It's called deep fake, the AI technology, to create such kind of a fake content, right? So, so the thing is that this kind of technologies can be used to do many, many different types and kinds of cyber crimes. Okay, so these kind of cyber crimes are not only directly targeting a company or their organization. These kind of attacks can be happening to their own partners, vendors, contractors, subcontractors. For example, in a company, you may outsource your electricity and water supply and cleaning jobs to a different company, right? Maybe in your company, you may be outsourcing your software development activity to a different company. So you may be outsourcing your recruitment activities to a different company. So to attack your company, cyber criminals have to just attack your subcontractors, not directly you, right? So that is where supply chain risk is coming. Third party and contractual or subcontractor or supply chain risk is coming very, very relevant and effective, right? So in the Ukraine, there is an attack happened sometime back, which was believed to be launched by the Russian hackers. They launched attack to the small and medium companies in the Ukraine through a software called MEDoc, which is like a Tally in India, okay, the financial software. And then that virus traveled across Ukraine, and then it started spreading outside Ukraine. It went through different channels to different countries across the globe, and eventually it came back to even Russia, and then impacted their oil and gas industry. So that is where the supply chain attacks can be very, very important and risky as well, right? So sometimes the devices that we are using may be having a chip inside this, we don't know, right? So the moment it can be given for a repair, through that repairing shop or the organization, or through the original equipment manufacturing company. There could be spy chips, we don't know, right? So that is where supply chain poisoning is coming. The artificial intelligence systems can be poisoned with the wrong data model, right? So that means the rules and the algorithms that you type in an AI or artificial intelligence algorithm can be manipulated, so you don't get the right result, right? So today, cyber criminals are using AI for various advanced cyber attacks, whether it is in the swarm bot or botnets or cryptojacking, deepfake, autonomous weapons. There are so many areas these cyber criminals are using these kind of attacks, technologies. Sorry. So today the world is witnessing a lot of interesting offers. The cyber criminals are coming and publishing their services in the public, either through different channels or even other modes of means of mode. Right, the deep web and the dark web, right? Especially in the dark web, there are people who are trying to sell drugs, sell weapons, sell stolen data, having a lot of illegal services, quotations, human trafficking. The lot of cyber crimes are happening through the dark web. It's a very dangerous place to go in without any measures. And there are a lot of people, researchers are using this place for a lot of purposes, including law enforcement agencies. So whatever the stolen data may be available in the dark web for sale, right? The cyber criminals will sell this data from various companies to make money, right? There are cyber criminals offering various services to the public, or people who need it, criminal activities or criminal services, right? Some people go and even publish in the YouTube, advertise themselves, right, about various cyber crimes. Now the thing is that the nature of the crimes are really changing. The motives are changing, the objectives are changing, the techniques they are using are changing, the tools they are using are changing. These are the current slide. What you're looking at is a list of cyber criminals across various parts of the world, targeting various regions to launch attacks. These are all cyber criminal groups, okay, threat groups we can call them as. Now they help each other, they work with each other, they do a lot of collaboration. They share their tools and techniques and technologies and methodologies. They share their intelligence, where to attack, whom to attack, what to attack, how to attack, and so on, right? So they will use different methodologies like malware attack, botnets, zero-day vulnerability exploitation, spoofing, session hijacking. These are some ways, these are some of the technical terms how they launch attacks, right? A phishing attack, ransomware attack, cross-site scripting, right? SQL injection. There are various list of types of attacks, methodologies these guys will be using to launch attack, right? So it can come in the form of very simple QR code scanning for payment, right? And which can be a fraud. Maybe you may get an advertisement for mobile recharges, or money crediting in your account, right? So these are all can be tools or methodologies they'll be using to launch an attack against you, right? So you will see in the future, probably, if a shop is getting attacked, they have to shut down, because they'll not be able to operate their computers, and they'll not be able to manage their logistics, warehouse, and so on. And the future is, again, if you look at, we are all started using biometrics to access our systems, right? When I say biometrics, we may use our facial recognition for turning on our phone, or we may be using our thumbprint, thumb impression for making a Google payment or phone pay, or we may be using our voice recognition or our voice to really open the door. The biometrics will be used heavily in the future, but the unfortunate part here is actually even they can be breached, right? And they are also getting breached, right? With the help of AI and many other things, they are also getting breached. So the future can be even much more dangerous, because with the help of this advanced technologies like deepfake, etc., can be used to really launch attacks and create a lot of attacks. I just want to play another simple video just to show you how this advanced technologies can be even used for good things, at the same time bad things as well.
Former pilots directed almost 3,000 precision strikes last year. We're super proud of it. It allows you to separate the bad guys from the good. It's a big deal. But we have something much bigger. Your kids probably have one of these, right? Not quite. Hell of a pilot? No. That skill is all AI. It's flying itself. Its processor can react 100 times faster than a human. The stochastic motion is an anti-sniper feature. Just like any mobile device these days, it has cameras and sensors, and just like your phones and social media apps, it does facial recognition. Inside here is 3 grams of shaped explosive. This is how it works. Did you see that? That little bang is enough to penetrate the skull and destroy the contents. They used to say guns don't kill people. People do. Well, people don't. They get emotional, disobey orders, aim high. Let's watch the weapons make the decisions. Now, trust me, these were all bad guys. Now that is an airstrike of surgical precision. It's one of a range of products. Trained as a team, they can penetrate buildings, cars, trains, evade people, bullets, pretty much any countermeasure. They cannot be stopped. Now, I said this was big. Why? Because we are thinking big. Watch. A $25 million order now buys this. Enough to kill half a city. The bad half. Nuclear is obsolete. Take out your entire enemy, virtually risk-free. Just characterize him, release the swarm, and rest easy. Dumb weapons drop where you point them. Smart weapons consume data. When you can find your enemy using data, even by a hashtag, you can target an evil ideology right where it starts.
See, what you've seen is a very good example of how law enforcement agencies can use drones with the help of artificial intelligence to bring down the cyber criminals or other criminals, right? Now, the unfortunate part here, imagine that if this technology lands in the hands of cyber criminals, or if this technology can be breached or attacked or hacked by the cyber criminals, they can use it against the good people, right? So that is where the world is moving in, and that is where we would need to protect these kind of systems. In India, based on the NASCOM, Data Security Council of India research, there were about nearly 20 crore people were cyber crime victims. Okay, so and nearly more than nearly even 100 crore people experienced cyber crime. Okay, so the whole thing is that many times these kind of crimes we might have been also be impacted or affected or experience a cyber crime, right? So I personally believe, or I personally think that if there is a World War III, it may be a cyber war, right? So how do we really prepare for this? What we need to do is actually we need to really prepare. We need to protect our systems. We need to detect if there is any cyber crimes, and obviously if there is a cyber attack, we need to respond and recover from these attacks, right? So today the governments are coming up with a lot of regulations, laws, and rules. Some of them just listed some of those rules, etc., for various industries. In India, Disha is an act, a rule and regulation for protecting the healthcare systems. IT Act 2000 is a law passed in India. I mean, like now framework and the law in India to protect our information technology assets, right? So there are various countries coming with a lot of laws and regulation. But the thing is that as a company, as an organization, people, we need to be very, very careful about what kind of systems we are dealing with, what kind of applications and solutions we are engaging with, how our data is being used, who is going to attack us, how they're going to attack us. We should be aware, right? We cannot trust anybody for that matter, right? That's called zero trust. We cannot trust anything and anything and anyone for that matter, right? Whether it is our mobile phones, whether smart TV, whether it is the websites that we are going to, we should not be trusting 100% any of these things. Without trusting, we should ensure that we are validating all the information which is right and authenticated. Then only we will be engaging. That's called zero trust, right? So we should really upskill our skills, reskill ourselves to detect these kind of cyber crimes. The organizations across the globe, across the nations, across various industries are now developing a lot of cybersecurity teams who can help them to protect against these kind of attacks, right? And that is where the opportunity. More than 3 lakh opportunities are in India itself in cybersecurity. More than 3 lakh job opportunities. Today, the industry is struggling without the right cybersecurity skilled people, right? So that means what? There are so many job opportunities, and it is really high paying compared to many other job streams, right? So because there is a huge need for protecting our government, protecting our organization, protecting our society, protecting our homes, protecting our own individuals, right? So we need to really be upskilling irrespective of the domain and the background where you're coming from. We all have a responsibility to make it safer and better for our society, our nation, our home, and our relatives and friends and families, right? So we have a huge responsibility. At the same time, we have a huge opportunity from a career perspective to become a cyber warrior, right? So I hope the session has given you some idea about the future crimes and the opportunities and the challenges these can bring to the table, and how we need to be prepared for this. I would like to spend the rest of the minutes or the time to take some questions if you have any. I'm happy to answer that, whatever based on my knowledge. Thank you again for patiently listening to the session. I hope the session was interesting and engaging. Thank you so much. And over to you, Saroj Kumar, if there are any questions. Thank you. In the chat window, there is a question from Abhiraj. How can we be prepared for zero-click threat? Okay, so fundamentally, the most important thing is having awareness, right? Being cautious, and that is where most of us will take, unfortunately, things for granted, and then we click, we tend to believe that it's all original, natural, and we tend to engage, right? Maybe clicking or responding or replying or installing, accepting. So just like that, we become a victim by ourselves, right? So we have to be very, very careful. We need to use only authenticated systems. We need to engage with only real and original authenticated applications or links or parties. Very, very careful. There are certain simple measures I'll give you which you can help, which can help you from getting attacked or being breached. Okay. There are so many questions coming up. Okay, I would like to go one by one. There are certain questions coming into the chat window which is not related to the cybersecurity thing. So I'll not be answering that. Probably your respective teachers and coordinators would be able to help you with those, right? Some of the questions. So Srikruti Sharma, what are some of the common threats, right? I think in this whole session, you have seen hundreds of different types of threats, right? Which can come in different formats, different size, different shapes, right? I don't know if I need to respond again, but if you need to know specifically about a particular threat, let me know. So there are threats like phishing, smishing. There are identity theft. There are hacking of your smart devices. Somebody will spy your systems and take your data out and so on, right? The other question, what are the job opportunities for BCA cybersecurity? So from Vidya Shankara Bharti, from a job opportunity perspective, I would not give a lot of emphasis whether it is BCA or MCA or MTech or BTech and so on. It's all about the skill, right? So as part of your BCA cybersecurity program, definitely, I am sure you would be learning a lot of things about the cybersecurity. Within the cybersecurity area, there are about 40 major towers, sub towers. Okay, cybersecurity is not just one thing. Cybersecurity has so many different components like network security, application security, data security, cloud security, infrastructure security, regulatory risk and compliance, third-party risk assessment, protection, data privacy for that matter. There are so many areas in the cybersecurity area. So based on your interest and skill, you can choose one area, right? And in each of these areas, there are enough and more opportunities at this point of time, right? So from a career perspective, yes, in each of these areas, there are hundreds of opportunities out there. I think Nived asked the same question about the career opportunity. How are the career opportunities in cybersecurity? Yes, there are so many opportunities. People are directly taken from college, and they'll be given trainings, greenfield trainings for 3 months to 6 months to 9 months on cybersecurity area, and then directly absorbed into jobs and projects. Right. So in many companies, there are programs for taking people directly from the mainstreams and then giving them jobs, right? From Yogeshwar, without any apps, software or malware can hack the phone, it's possible. Without any apps, software or malware can hack the phone, it's possible. I didn't understand the question, Yogesh, but still I'll try to answer. Yes, technically any device, whether it is a phone or tablet or computer or anything which is connected, it can be hacked. Okay, it can be hacked, it can be breached, it can be stolen. That's the answer. Another question, anonymous attendee. Sony, a Japanese company, it's a global company. They will be having a lot of corporate offices or regional offices based on their business operations. Are Onion websites legal? So that's the legality of those websites are depending upon the nation, the law of the land where it operates. So different countries have different legal flexibilities and freedom. So depending upon that, it becomes. How many parts of the web are there? In general, there are 3, but there are about 7 layers of web. So the 3 I will talk about. One is surface web, deep web, and dark web. The surface web is something that we can see, we can browse through, which is indexing all the other websites. Deep web is something which you need an access control, where you need a login, username, and password. Dark web is the another section which you need a specific software to get inside. It's like a Tor. Okay. Another question from Shrey Patel. How are these hackers not traceable? Does simply masking the IP address work to stay hidden? If no, then what are all things they need to hide? Okay. So see, there are many things to be hidden for a hacker. IP is one thing. So the complete anonymity is what they need, right? The IPs, the locations, the names, many things, right? So there are today tools and technologies available to hide your IP locations and names, etc. But unfortunately, internet never forgets. Anything and everything happens in the internet is being recorded somewhere, traced somewhere, and tracked somewhere, and stored somewhere. So it's all about how smart you are going to expose those, right? So definitely it can be traced. People who are running e-commerce websites in the dark web were traced, arrested, and jailed. Okay, so they were using all these measures, but still they got arrested. Okay, so anything can be traced. The only thing is that you need to have that kind of skill developed to go and smartly identify those information, which I don't recommend unless otherwise you are a very, very professional, experienced, cybersecurity expert. Okay. Will we get to see any practical things today in cybersecurity? Anonymous attendee has asked that question. I didn't understand that question. What exactly the practical things today you see in cybersecurity? I shown you a number of examples in the in today's session about various attacks. Okay, the next question: how does stealing data, except card details, is useful to these hackers? Yeah, that's a very interesting. Typically, the card details, etc., being hacked, they will sell this data. But other details they can use to create your own, profiles, identity theft, identity frauds, and they can use your own data to do various other crimes. And they can establish that you are done the crime, not them, because they are using your details, right? So that could be one thing. And they can use your data to really lock you inside your own home, right? Or they can leak your data to defame you. If they have any problem with you, they can expose your data, right? So there are so many objectives, so many areas or ways these hackers can use your data. Another question from Om Verma: is penetration testing the way to find vulnerabilities in a system? In fact, penetration testing is one of the good ways. One of the good ways. There are many ways, but PT, penetration testing, is definitely a way to find out the vulnerabilities in the system. Another question from Adi Tia: this is all done remotely, or there is any physical contact with the system? Technically speaking, there are attacks which are completely done remotely. There are attacks launched in the past or in currently which is getting launched by some people, partially remotely, partially physical, or completely physical as well. It's all depending upon what kind of attacks they are launching, how they are, what is their motivation, and how they want to be part of that actually. How the hackers are getting access for doing such things? A question from Jenga Bharat Reddy. It's a very interesting and simple question. See, it's very simple. Answer is very simple. Imagine you are having a weak door in your house, and you are keeping a lot of gold and cash in your house, diamonds in your house. And when you're having a weak door, it is very easy for the cyber criminals to come inside, right? Or the thieves to come inside, just like that, right? Or people can come and take a different identity. For example, so even if you're a strong door, some people can come and say, we are from income tax department, we are from that agency, this agency, and we are going to arrest you. But actually they may be criminals, right? So there are various ways in similar way in the cyber world to launch attacks and steal your data. Okay. Another question, from anonymous: dark web or deep web? Okay, so deep web is something that you need a username and password to access, depending upon the site you access. Dark web, which needs a kind of a Tor kind of a program, the onion router kind of a program, which you need to access that. But unless otherwise you're an expert in that area, I don't recommend you go and do so many experiments there. Can we detect an attempted or a successful cybersecurity breach, and how long or how do we respond quickly to an emergency? The question from Bhuvesh. Today, that is where the opportunity for all of you. So today, organization should be having a monitoring team, cybersecurity monitoring and detection team. So there are units within their IT department. They're setting up calls SOC. SOC is nothing but Security Operations Center. The Security Operations Center will be monitoring all their applications, networks, and other devices, etc., to ensure that there is no attempts or there is no breach. Right? If there is a breach, obviously there are procedures and standards and processes in place which will help you to really recover from that kind of an attack, or at least prevent or stop that attack, right? For example, if your network is getting breached, then immediately you need to disconnect all your systems. You should involve your incident response team. They will try to analyze your attack and then help you to contain, right? There has to be communication done to the respective stakeholders wherever it is required, and so on. Cybersecurity can be taken with computer science. Yeah, so it's all about computer science, right? Cybersecurity is all about computer science, because you're dealing with computer systems and information technology systems, which is going to really help you to stay protected, right? So that is where definitely it can be. It's all based on your interest and passion. which is the basic language for cybersecurity and artificial intelligence? Okay, these are two different topics altogether. Again, the question is from an anonymous um, attendee. See, there are so many languages available out there. It's all about which language is used for what purpose, right? So if it is scripting, there are so many scripting languages. If there are algorithms and models, there are tools. I mean, like, language like R and Python. Even you can write these models using Java. Cybersecurity, in the cybersecurity area today, there are so many tools and technologies. Products are out there from various vendors like HP, IBM. There are so many, Palo Alto. There are so many companies who are providing various tools, right? So you can use those tools actually. There is another very interesting question. What is the first thing a person should do when hacked? Okay, very interesting question. I think this is the first time I'm receiving this question. If it is at a personal level or at an organizational level, the very first thing to do is not to get panicked. Okay, don't be panicked. That is the very first thing to do, right? The second thing to do is actually be calm and respond more informed way, right? So don't do anything with panic, because that can cause more troubles. Restarting, deleting all the files, thinking that when you delete all the files will go. No, don't do any such things. Depending upon the nature of the attack or the breach, you can even go to law enforcement agencies like cybercrime police stations, or if you work in a corporate, you may have a corporate cyber response team. So take the help of those people, or consult with a cybersecurity expert what can be done depending upon the nature of the breach. Another question, are there any specific companies that are cybersecurity experts? Yes, there are so many. There are hundreds of, I think there are about 6,500 cybersecurity companies in the world, approximately. And the number is only increasing. Okay. So all these companies are providing various cybersecurity services, cybersecurity capabilities. You can get jobs in all those cybersecurity companies. Can we get hacked from browsing in incognito mode? Question from again Sukriti Sharma. It is said that history is not saved, but it's true that saved in our system. See, the simple answer to this: if you're connected, if you're using a smart device, it is very likely that we are getting hacked or we will be attacked. So there is nobody exempted from such attacks. So we have to be very careful. Somebody is asking a question, Bob Suit. What is Bob Suit? Bob Suit is again a tool to scan the vulnerabilities in an application. Do we have the information we need to oversee the cyber risk? So this is a continuous process. We need to be continuously aware about what systems we use, what devices we use, what kind of cyber attacks can come into these kind of devices, how we should be preventing. For example, as I mentioned, don't click all the links which is coming to your SMSs or chats, because these SMSs and the chats can have malicious links, attachments, which can be a virus. We don't know, and once we click on that, we will not even know that we are infected. It will go inside without our notice, and it can do a lot of very bad things. Okay, simple example: imagine that you are installing a malicious app, which is an app which is fraud or a malware. Now what can happen? It will do a lot of damage from the background. It can open your camera without your permission and take all your photographs and videos and can send it to somebody. It can record all your conversation, all your phone calls and send to somebody. It can copy all your images, photos, videos and everything from your gallery and can send it to somebody. It can delete your call records and phone numbers without your permission, right? It can do a lot of things. We don't know, right? And that is the power of some of these malwares. Everything can be done in the background. We'll not even know. Another question: how these power grid systems are attacked remotely without knowing about the details? See, the moment you are getting connected to the internet through various channels, they can get inside your networks. Today, there are tools and technologies which can be sent to scan your network to identify wherever there is a weakness or a vulnerability, and then that vulnerability can be exploited. So when a malware comes into your network, it will go and scan and tell you out of the 10 ports, 3 of them are open, or in these 3 systems there are vulnerabilities which is not patched. So go and attack them. Just like the way how the virus is coming into your body, right? So it will attack wherever there is a weak organ. Same way, these malwares can go automatically and identify and attack the weak systems. Can a hacker hack another hacker? Very interesting question. Yes, definitely yes. Because in this world, anybody is a target, right? And everything is a target. Does putting a strong password help? So that's another question from Nitish. Nitish, strong password is definitely a requirement, but today strong password alone will not help. You need to have additional measures. One, having a strong password. Second, enabling a multi-factor authentication. That means enabling an OTP. It is not only just your password. Whenever you're logging in, ensure that after you put the password, you receive an OTP, you register in the same Facebook or Gmail or wherever you're using to or even your net banking. Ensure that you have a multi-factor authentication and as an OTP coming to you, and then yeah, that you should be using for every time you're logging into the system. Another question from anonymous attendee: if you buy anything from dark web, will it be riskful? Yes and no, depending upon what you buy, where you buy, and why you are buying from the dark web. Because there are so many people will be watching. How can we protect our devices without being hacked? Okay, so 2-3 things I told. This question is again from an anonymous attendee. Ensure that your devices, anything that you use, like mobile phone or smart TV or any laptops, ensure that these are having very strong passwords to log into. These are all continuously updated and upgraded. Don't give access to anybody who is not required to have access to that kind of device. Continuously update the systems whenever there is an update. Use a strong firewall. Some of the basic things that you need to do, and trust. Don't trust anything just like that. Okay, it's have a zero trust. Another question: can AI hack systems without human presence? Definitely yes. That's why it is AI, right? That's why it is intelligent. Technically yes. One interesting. If I was a cyber hacker, then what are the requirements to hack your data? I don't want to teach crime here. So definitely, there are different types of hacking, right? Or hackers, like black hat hacker, white hat hacker, and gray hat hacker. So if you are going to be a gray and black, definitely you are going to be a criminal. So definitely there are very, very bad consequences and other impacts, right? If you're a white hat hacker, if you're doing it for the right purposes, and there are so many ways and means to do this, you need to understand the purpose, why you're doing this, with whom you're doing this. For example, Google recently launched a program called bug bounty programs, bug hunters. If you identify a bug in a system, if you report it to Google, then they will reward you, right? That's a white hat hacker job, right? So it all depends upon which system you are trying to really find out that bug for, and then why you are doing that. Where would I report if I get hacked? That's a very, very interesting question. I think I already answered that. There are so many means out there to report your hacking. India government launched a portal called cybercrime.gov.in. You can launch your you can update your or report your complaints and updates there. Definitely it is done by the Ministry of Home Affairs, or you can go and complain to the local cybercrime police station or other police stations. There are so many things out there. And if you're working for a company, definitely immediately you should report it to your company. Yeah, there is another question: what is brute force hack? Right, so brute force is very simple. Now imagine that you are having a username password. Now somebody may put username as ABC and password as password. Some people use password as password 123, password password as QWERT, right? It is very, very easy to remember. Now the thing is that if somebody gets your username, what they will try is actually they will try various combination of of passwords to log into your system. So it can be automated, or it can be combination of hundreds of passwords tried into the system, right? Without knowing your actual password, they will try with various passwords. Sometimes they'll be successful, right? So that is called brute force attack. They will try various password combination with your username to get inside your portal. Why are Russian hackers considered the most dangerous hackers? So there is no labeling like that Russians are the best or Ukrainians are the best or Indians are the best. There are hackers all around the world. Okay, so they may be from North Korea, they may be from India, they may be from Pakistan, they may be from US, they may be from Israel. There are so many people. There are so many people who are doing it for the good purpose as well as the bad purposes, right? So I don't think there is a distinction between one particular region is having the best hackers on the earth. Whether the Bluetooth device can be hacked, the answer is yes, definitely yes. There are Bluetooth devices. The smart car which I shown, most of the smart cars are hacked through the Bluetooth devices, Bluetooth systems. Okay. Another question. These are simple questions, but very, very interesting. Okay. PC is more difficult to get hacked or laptop or Mac? See, as I mentioned again, anything can be hacked. Anything is easy to hack if you don't have the right measures in place. Like the antivirus, like the strong passwords, like the multi-factor authentication, like the right upgrades, like the right updates. If it is not there, definitely your system will be automatically hacked. What PC, laptop, Mac do hackers use? It's all depending upon what hacking they want to do, right? And they will use hundreds of tools. There are so many tools and technologies out there which they will be using. Can the hacker hack Apple devices? Yeah, as I mentioned, any device can be hacked. If we ever got caught doing hack, then what we should do at that point of time? If we got caught doing hack, yeah. So it's from Ritik Kumar. See, don't do anything. See, all the examples I shown you is to give you awareness that what kind of cyber crimes are happening out there, right? What these bad guys are doing out there. Now you should be thinking and imagining like them, and then you should never do like them, right? So you should think like a hacker, but never act like a hacker. What you should be doing is actually how to really prevent and protect from these kind of hackers. That is what you should be doing, right? So never try to do anything which is illegal, anything harmful to any organization, or you should not be even having that intent to hack if it is harmful any in any means. If it is against the law, never do that, because you are doing a crime. Phone numbers and email IDs can be spoofed. Is OTP still safe now? Yes. See, that is where email IDs and phone numbers and everything can be spoofed today. Even our own identity can be spoofed, right? So definitely that is where OTP is still giving you additional protection. What is blockchain? Yeah, so blockchain is a software in simple terms, which will be working in consensus as a block. And that's the simplest definition. Probably blockchain is another topic which we need another 1 hour to help you to understand that blockchain. Okay. What can be done if pornography is being spread on the internet without the knowledge? See, internet is like an ocean, right? There are certain countries and regions where pornography is legal. So it's all about the law of the land where you're operating. In India, we have very strict laws and programs in place, especially to control pornography. Okay, I think yeah, in the given time, I think we were able to address a good amount of question. I think this topic needs at least 3-4 days continuous discussion to cover at least some of the basics. It's a very big area. Hundreds of thousands of opportunities are out there because there are so many challenges and risk, right? So again, thank you so much for patiently listening and very, very active engagement. I hope the session was useful and you enjoyed the session. Thank you so much for patiently listening. It is a very good session. I think I have taken hundreds of sessions. I think this is one of the sessions where I received a very, very excellent engagement from many of the participants. A very, very interesting questions. Thank you for asking all those questions. Really appreciate it. And looking forward to connect with you sometime in the future, and wish you all the very best from your career and learning perspective. Thank you so much.